Are the imposters the good guys? Are the trees the imposters? Are the imposters sharks?
Stop that. Welcome back, my fellow gamers. I'm Amanda McKnight.
And I'm Connor Monroe, and trust me, these are some damn good theories.
All those and more are what we are exploring in today's list of the top 10 scary Among Us Imposter theories, part 2.
Let's tongue pierce our way in. Does that sound weird to you?
It sounds pretty weird. Trying to imagine trying to do that.
In a 10 color theory. Amanda touched on this briefly last part, but let's get more in depth with it this time. I went to school for graphic design, so I had to study color theory, and like Amanda said, red is an aggressive color for the most part. It's associated with anger, blood, lust, those kinds of emotions, which is why most people tend to see red as the most suspicious. But how will this affect your playstyle? Well, it depends on the color you choose. This used to be a problem with MOBA games. One team was red while the other one was blue, and the colors made them play differently. Red was always more aggressive, going for towers right away and doing their best to push forward, while the blue team was, however, much more strategic. They went jungling and planned for the long game. The same can apply to Among Us. I've seen plenty of cases where red has been more aggressive while playing both imposter and crewmate, wanting to vote people out with little information while crew, and absolutely slaughtering while imposter. This was most evident with Amon, who would play red while she played on the channel. But she was so goddamn aggressive, also in real life. Even when she was a noob and didn't know what she was doing, even killing right in front of me. This can also explain why people never really seem to call out blue if they haven't seen them really do anything sus. Blue is often associated with the good guy, the police, Will Stronghold. Even the detective from Gary's Mod TTT is highlighted in blue, because you can typically at least trust them. Maybe something to consider for your next game, huh?
Number 9, invading space trees. I mean, what's with all the leaves clogging up our ship that constantly need to be cleared, huh? We know that while aboard our ship, especially on the Scout, we seem to be preparing or at least ready to fight someone. We have shields and even a whole weapon station, but just who is out there that we need to battle? Who could possibly be a big enough threat to make us risk jumping onto a ship where an imposter could be lurking? 2 words, space trees. This would help to explain the leaves we are constantly confronted with clearing out on the Skeld, and I would theorize that if Among Us is set in the future, it could be a time where our environment has decided to fight back. While plants can't actively communicate with us, I do like to think there is definitely more to them than meets the eye. And they are, in their own way, capable of communicating with one another and growing defensively or reactively. There's actually a large growing body of scientific evidence that points towards this even now. So they aren't as dumb as some might initially think. What if plants end up evolving to the point that they start to figure out that we are the ones killing them, and we end up in some kind of battle with them on Earth that extends out into space? I'm just saying, having leaves clog up your spaceship is pretty weird otherwise, right?
Number 8, are we bugs? Amanda asked last time if the imposters were sharks, which is hilarious, but also hauntingly accurate. But today I asked the age-old question, are we bugs? Let's talk about that. Why would I think the imposter and crewmates are bugs? Well, the structure of the creatures we play as isn't human. We fill out our spacesuit and the crewmates have one bone sticking out of the middle. No human has just one bone, but what could it be? Well, what if we're bugs? It would explain the whole filling the suit thing. It's not a suit, it's our exoskeleton. And the one bone could just be an evolutionary trait. Of course, this would put the events of the game a long way away, or they could just be from another galaxy or universe. This kind of evolution would take ages, and I mean longer than my 12th grade comm-tech teacher has been alive. Yeah, and Noah gave that guy shotgun on the Ark. Yeah, that's right, I'm talking to you. I hope you're showing this to your class right now, trying to say how we're great friends, but we weren't, Gordon. You made my life a living hell, and you didn't even put my damn quote in the yearbook.
Number 7, experiment to conquer. What if this was all an experiment to figure out how to invade and conquer in the most effective way? Because Among Us is like a human psychology experiment, it could be possible that there is more than a game here. Space is vast, right? And we pretty much can assume at this point that somewhere else in the universe there is intelligent life. But what if the invaders have been living here this whole time, just gathering data? What if the creators of the game are actually those aliens who are undercover as human beings and using the game Among Us to gather data for how to best invade and take over? You could say this sounds crazy, but can we prove that it isn't true? I ask you.
And at 6, the good guys. What if the imposters were actually the good guys? I mean, sure, they're killing a load of people, but could they be doing it for a reason? And I mean, like, hey, Sure, they're a parasite, but what if the crewmates invaded their territory, or did too many unethical experiments that drove the imposters this way? What if all the imposter parasite wants is to get its home back and keep it safe? There is a research station on Polis. Was this station set up with the express intent of studying the parasite? Could they have been experimenting, or just set up shop in an area that was in parasitic territory? Let me tell you, I went to high school with some parasites, and they do not like it when you invade their turf. Of course, nobody decided to kill everyone on the spaceship, but hey, some parasites gotta do what they gotta do to defend their home. And with what we've done to this planet, I can see why they go extreme. Like Damien Dark, launch all the world's nukes, just send them, please.
Number 5, the real imposters. Who are the real imposters? Based on what we see to help establish the true story or lore behind the game, many have speculated that red and black are actually the most forever sus and are the real imposters. But if you watched our part 1 of this video and have heard us discuss color theory both here and there, you'll know that all colors have an equal chance at getting the imposter role. So, why red and black? Well, many think that these characters are the original imposter duo because of certain design choices Innersloth made. Red is featured heavily in art for the game and during role selection, which is what makes people the most sus. Also, imposter is a role that tends to be written in red font. Have you ever noticed that? Black is the color of the imposter, on the other hand, featured on the sabotage button. This might also add to why some players initially seem more suspicious of red and black as colors in general in comparison to the other colors in the game. Were black and red the original imposter duo? What do you think?
And at number 4, we're the monster. What if there was a parallel world where all the events of Among Us are real? If you subscribe to the many worlds theory, much like you should subscribe to this channel, see what I did there, then the many worlds theory or interpretation does say that there is a universe out there where Among Us is real. But we don't know how real. They could just all be crewmates with no imposters around until we show up. We create the imposter by playing the game, thus sending this group of friends into a total slaughterhouse because we wanted to have fun with our friends. Then we leave the game, their bodies covering the ship, and join a new one where we control another universe of crewmates. There is a universe where this theory is exactly what happens, but we just don't know it. Is that horrible universe this universe? Technically, it's every universe, but also not, in the same vein as Schrodinger's cat.
Number 3, crewmates' origins. We all focus on the imposter's origins so much when the crewmates' origins, in my opinion, just seems just as important. Isn't it strange that we just take them at face value because the imposter is such an enigma? Let's take a quick look at the crewmates. We know from the med scans that they are short, averaging at around 3 feet and 6 inches, and that they have no hands or arms, or that their arms and hands are, for some reason, kept bound in their suits. That doesn't make a lot of sense though. So even if they do have arms, they have no need for them to complete tasks. Why is this? What is their backpack for? How do they open it if they don't have hands? How do they complete tasks even, like card swipe or fill gas without hands? 2 options are possible here. Either these are telepathic but evolved, alien, or even future human species, or we are looking at a bunch of telepathic children sent out into space.
And into the executioner. I talked about this in an earlier video, but in case you missed it, there was a theory in the part of Reddit nobody talks about where someone suggested the imposter is actually just an executioner for the government that was tasked with killing death row inmates while they thought they were trying to lighten their sentence. The theory suggests that perhaps the crewmates are about to be executed, so the government makes them a deal. Repair this ship and you can live. However, they never intended on honoring this deal and instead send in a fake inmate, the executioner, to deal with them while they do free labor. It explains all win conditions. The inmates win if they repair the ship since their sentence is reduced. They win if they eject the imposter because they can focus on repairing, and the imposter wins if they die because that's what the government wants. At least their government. Ours loves us and wants us all to be safe, right?
Number 1, the lone white imposter. Has anyone else seen this? Earlier this month, Innersloth posted a tweet where they revealed that a secret NPC happened to be hiding in the Polis map for fans to find. This NPC wearing white can be found hiding in the bathroom, but only if you look really closely. But why? One theory suggests that it is because white is actually an imposter who prefers to wait for crewmates to come to it, or simply wait until they leave its planet to roam around safely. That's right, This would also imply that Polis is the planet of imposters, which I think many of us already thought. And when we are there ourselves, we're actually on their home turf. But where are the rest of the imposter race, and why are we there? Is it possible this NPC is actually there waiting for the right moment to strike, and that the other imposters are on their way, ready to attack and take back their home planet? Wow, I definitely do not want to have to deal with fighting trees in the future.
Nor do I want to live in a reality where the government uses an executing imposter to take out those who are actually working to help them.
Yeah.
Actually, that might be this one.
Oh goodness. Well, this also might be the space trees one, so we need a new timeline, guys. It's all pretty dark over here.
What do you think the scariest Among Us theory is out there? Be sure you let us know in the comments below.
And thanks for watching. This is Top 10 Gaming, and I'm Amanda McKnight.
And I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and we'll see you in another video.
Bye.